Good afternoon, Chairwoman. We are live on the air and we are being recorded.
Great, thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Town of East Hampton Architectural Review Board meeting of today's date, July 8th, 2021. I'd like to open the meeting with the approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which was June 24th, 2021. I'd like to make a motion to approve them. Can I get a second, Diane?
Yes, second.
Great, all in favor? Esperanza, Chip, Jonathan, great. Okay, thank you. So I want to welcome everybody to our first in-person meeting since March 12th of 2020. What a long, strange trip it's been. So we're going to start the meeting with the Historic District Kevin Bishop modification, tax map number 300-63-5-10, 21 Old Stone Highway in East Hampton. Is anyone here for the applicant, Kevin Bishop?
He sent us a note that he wasn't coming in. Right?
Yes.
Okay, did he ask us to review the application?
Yeah, proceed,
Okay.
proceed. Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan, why don't you read into the record what this application is for?
Okay, the description in the application is modification to deck on southeast corner. Do we have any photos? The house is in a historic district. It had a small deck outside of the first floor on the north side. This was for an extension, a 39 square foot extension of that porch. You can see that's the deck. That's from the driveway.
So let me just ask you a question so we all know
Yeah,
what
sure.
we're looking at. To the right, the deck on the side of the house, because
Correct.
to the left is the front of the house, right?
To the left is the front.
Right, and the original application was for the deck to be what, in the back? And then they added this side part? Am I understanding that correctly?
Our application is that they were adding a deck to a previous deck.
Right, but the previous, the previous deck was part of their resolution. And I don't think, did we have a certificate of occupancy for that yet? So this is a modification to the resolution. Am I correct in that?
Resolution dated March 12th, 2020.
Yeah.
No, I have a resolution, February 27th, 2020, which was for the original deck that they were building. It was to, the resolution, the board approved the reframing of an existing deck. This was on February 27th, 2020.
Right.
The deck will be built to match the original size and shape. All new trim on the porch is to match the existing porch trim. Also approved with 3 glass panels on the railing located on the second story balcony. So that was the original request that we approved, and now they came back to us to add a modification.
Add a modification to that. I thought it was they said, you told me it was an existing deck. Well, it sort of
It was,
was.
it was, and they had
So,
approval to replace it.
So there's more photographs. I think there's another photograph that's closer.
Right. So if you could just point out the new part that they added to the
The
deck.
new part is, you see there are 3 posts there on the right-hand side from the corner. So from the corner back to the first post is this new 39 square feet.
Okay.
So what they did is just continued one more bay, which happened to be, which ended up the front of the house. And there should be another photograph I took head on or face
the back?
onto it.
Right.
That's the only other photograph?
Yes, there's 3.
Okay, anyway, that's it. That's the glass. That one is the 3 glass panels.
Right. So that's the back of the house.
That's the back of the house.
And the new deck that they're asking for approval on, it wraps around the side, or it's just an extension of that? It's the left section?
You've got to go back and take a look again at the other photograph. That continues and it kind of stops. There's things going on, and that other deck is out there. And what they did with that is they just changed the structure underneath it. They didn't change the deck. The glass panels are on the second floor deck,
Mhm.
and that's why I took that photograph
Right.
to show the glass panels.
So this is the southeast corner.
That's the southeast corner of the house.
And extended toward the front of the house.
Toward the front of the house, yeah.
Okay, so you know what, just so we're all clear, okay, Kyle, if you can bring up the survey where there's a marking of the new area of the deck. Is it on that survey? No, it's on mine. So you see where it says deck, and then right south of it, there's a couple lines. That is the new deck where those little sections are. So they just extended it off on the side. Okay. Right. Do you have any issues with this, Jonathan?
No, it's very elegantly done.
Great, okay. Do you want to make a motion to approve this?
I move, we approve this application as it has been built.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is move, because they also, with the anticipation that we were going to approve it, we're going to approve the original resolution dated March 12th, 2020, as well as this modification to that resolution, which I'm going to make on July 8th, 2021. And if you will go to the certificate of occupancy, page number 16, you can make a motion to approve this for certificate of occupancy.
Page number 16.
No, I'm sorry, page number 5, item number 16.
I see it. Got it. Here. Thank you. Well, that. Just to see a vote. Okay, I move we approve the resolution dated March 12th, 2020 for the deck and the first original deck and the glass panels that were built in place.
Plus the modification that we're approving today.
Plus the modification that we approved today.
So you're gonna start south.
Can I get a, yeah,
Start
yeah.
south.
I will, we need to instruct staff to allow a certificate of occupancy.
Right, advise the building department.
Advise the building department that it's ready for a certificate of
Yeah.
occupancy. Okay, all right, can I get a second, Esperanza? Second. All in favor? Diane?
Aye.
And Chip? And Betsy, yes, great. Okay, we're a little rusty, but it's okay.
Yeah, a little rusty.
Just keep going. Okay. Kyle, if you need to reach me, you can text me. Okay. Or text David and David can text me.
That works too, Betsy.
Do you need me for anything, Kyle?
Nope, we're all set.
All right. Am I doing okay? Next on the agenda is the architectural overlay, number 8 Sayers Path LLC, tax map number 300-196-1-8-1 8 Sayers Path in Waynescott. And I believe Jessica Booth is here. Jessica, if you want to come up to the podium, what you could do is use the front chairs if you have those boards. Sure. So while Jessica's getting set up, Esperanza, if you want to get into the record what this application is for. Yes.
This is a new application for a
Not really working.
Right the floor.
okay. 2-story new construction residence. With main house. 2-story main house at 7,473 square feet, and a pool house, 1 story at 1,000 square feet.
Can you tell the
Also on that thrift shop.
audience and board where this is located
just
so we
pop
all
up.
have an idea?
So Waynescott too, right?
And Kyle, if you can pull up maybe some of the overhead aerial views that Esperanza submitted so we could all take a look at the layout of the land.
So this is a 1.703 acre lot in what's called the Wainscott Farms subdivision. It's at the corner of Sayers Path and Montauk Highway. It has an area, sort of a buffer that has a recreational reserve to the north of this lot. The driveway that enters this property is a shared driveway, and there are I believe two other residences that share that driveway. The back of the property faces a horse farm, and so it's all, it's all very bucolic, and it's part of the wooded area of Wainscott. This photograph was actually taken this past winter. All of the land on that lot has been cleared completely. But this gives you an idea. The white fence at the end is the horse farm, and then to the right, where the trees are, is the recreational reserve area.
Right, Kyle, let's just go through Esperanza's picture before we get into the actual buildings.
This is facing Sayers Path. So this would be the front of the property. And that previous picture was just from Sayers Path into the property. So you can see there's actually a reserve area on that side as well, or an easement, I believe. And this is just another picture again of the property facing the recreational reserve area, and the house to the left is one of the neighboring houses.
And were there aerial views as well?
Yeah, we'll do that. This is again facing the horse farm and the neighbor. You can get an idea of the landscaping there, facing the horse farm.
Can we go back to that picture? Let's just take a look at that from a standpoint of looking at the house.
Mhm.
Is that the more Tudor-esque house, or is that the first house that
No, that's
that's sort of
farther in the back.
farther in the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's more traditional style.
It was recently in front of us for a C of O.
It was, yes. Right.
Very
I
traditional.
mean, the land here ends roughly 20 feet from that fence, that white rail fence. And then do we have the aerials? Because I think that's it for the photo. Oh, well, there you go. That sort of
Yeah.
gives you an idea of where the property ends. It does give you an idea. Oh, these are the renderings. This is, that was fine. Any of them. This is Google Earth. Also, this was the property before it was cleared.
Go back, can you go back to that?
Please, yeah.
So what we're looking at is where it says Sayers Path, the first section over on the left
It's the first
is
residence.
the first residence. So that whole wooded area in front of the horse farm is the number 8, correct?
Yes, and where there's that bare area is also, it's part of this property, all of that. Mhm.
And how big is the property?
1.7.
1.7.
There's two lots. There's one that's 1.9 and one that's 1.7.
Both of them are 8 Sayers Path.
Yes. So, if you would like,
Yeah, go
good
ahead.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Nice to meet you in person.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be coming back to. my-
Done, Esperanza?
I guess I'll start with the.
No, I thought you were going to mention something
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I was.
I don't think Esperanza is done yet, so.
Oh, okay.
But did you want to say something about the?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that this is a scenic easement over here that has 50 feet. And then even though we own this lot, but we have to give rights to the neighboring properties. So we've created on our site plan a 16-foot easement that goes past the 50-foot easement, 16 feet that can go into this recreational reserve.
Is there a planning board application in that?
Not yet.
But it is subject to planning board, right?
Yes.
And Kyle, can you pull up that
Any
survey?
development
so
of that
we can
area.
Look at that, just so everybody has an idea what just.
The rest of the areas.
Yes, yeah, so that there is what you were pointing out just
Yes.
now. That's the entire
Property.
the 2 lots.
The 2 lots.
And I just want you to, get a sense of the proximity of the neighboring properties also that share that driveway. I think that's it.
Let's take a look at the survey, and then we can get into the presentation. It might be part of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the application, Kyle, thank you.
Maybe with the specs.
So the two lots, they're both buildable lots?
No,
No.
the recreational reserve area is meant for recreational only.
Only, yeah. Which means, that's right, well,
I
doesn't
guess
show,
that
but
the
that's on
proposed
the
tennis,
that's on the highway, right?
it's close to that. It's on that side, yes.
It's the buffer between this lot and the highway.
Part of it.
I don't see how it's recreational.
That's how it's subdivided. And technically, all the other lots that are part of that subdivision have access, must have access to that.
I see. And so, but it's all trees now,
It's all
right?
woods.
Yes.
It's the woods you see when you drive up 27.
Right, yeah.
All right, Kyle, if you can't find it, it's okay.
It's submitted as part of the.
Yeah, and you know what, if anybody on the board would like to see the,
I have it right here.
and then this is the recreational area.
That's been broken over here.
I don't think that was part of the, I can't really see, I can't see that on.
Yeah, this is the driveway. This is, this.
So this is where she created that.
No, that's
No,
the
it should
old
be, it
driveway.
looks like it's the
So
driveway.
this is the shared driveway, and that's the old driveway that went into the
Oh, okay.
property originally. This is the easement, and then
She's creating-
Jessica's saying that they're creating a 16 foot
easement.
Like a path.
Oh, scenic easement.
access.
It's not a walking area.
So are you okay with Jessica doing the presentation?
Yeah, let's go ahead and,
Okay, but before we do, if you want to just bring everybody up to date about that they were before us with the different type of design and.
yeah, this is a whole new proposal. The applicant has been before us before, and so now, because we we indicated that this proposal originally was not fitting the context of Sayers Path and this whole ag overlay area, you have come back with a whole different proposal.
So, we came up with a design that is, we feel very much in keeping with the vernacular of the neighborhood. It is a traditional Hampton style home with, traditional architecture. We are proposing to use, red cedar shingled section shapes. We are looking to use paper sawn shingles for the roofing. We are proposing to use Marvin casement windows. We're using a traditional mahogany door. We understood that you didn't love the modern feel of the previous design, and we felt that this design was hopefully much more satisfactory.
We're in keeping with the neighborhood. There was a lot of gate glazing and open window,
Yes.
floor to ceiling windows on the first design.
Yes, so we own this property now about a year, and we worked very hard on the first design. We understood that you didn't like it, we tried. We now designed a home that is much more in keeping with the neighborhood, and we're hoping that you're pleased with our updates.
And how do you feel about the new?
I think it's spectacular, I think it's
I
beautiful.
love it. I love it. There's a few, elements that I'm, a little questioned, but in reviewing it, I thought it was surprisingly beautiful and, a complete 180.
Well, we took all your comments, we listened to the YouTube presentation again to hear all of your thoughts, and we took it all into consideration, and we designed a home that we feel is really beautiful and spectacular, but very much in keeping with the home that was just built next door. We showed it to our neighbor, she loves it. She's praying that the board approves it because she's looking at an empty lot. She's hoping that we can get started with the project as soon as possible. We have a very nice relationship with the owner. I want to show you this board over here with some of the material. I know that you guys were concerned about the lighting. We're using lighting like crayon just on the underside so that they're not disruptive.
I had a question about that actually, because in your renderings, there are a number of wall sconces all across both the front and the back facades, and they're not dark sky compliant.
You know what? I honestly just missed those. Those are not being used.
So in
We will X them and we promise not to put them on the home.
And just
They're a
since
mistake.
you have this here, I presume that this is then, these images are the renderings that you are truly proposing versus I have a whole other packet here and it has discrepancies. So, and these have the elevations. So I just wanted to, confer with you because, for instance.
Yes, the rendering that is being used is the one that doesn't have the flag.
Okay, well, we didn't get elevations, we didn't get drawings for that. We only got these, which belong in this design package from May 19th. And just so you can see, you can compare right here. There's a window above the garage that's not on this elevation or in the renderings. There's also a window here between these two gables in your image that's not on this elevation. And in the back also, there's a lot of glazing differences. So it's just not, I'm confused by the two submissions. So
Okay.
I'm glad you're bringing this, so we know then to look at just the one, and I will discard this.
Yes, so
Oh, this is
these
how.
these are the images that were submitted into the Dropbox with the pitched roof.
Okay,
That's what we're gonna be using. And these were uploaded into the Dropbox.
Well, here's the thing, Jessica. I'm gonna, I want to, before we get into some of the details, just ask the board their opinion on what you're presenting today. So, Chip?
Very favorable, but there cannot be any confusion
No,
about
that-
which set of drawings we're looking at.
We'll deal with that afterwards. Jonathan?
It's a lot better than the first one, yeah, and it fits in, with the horse farm nearby and everything.
Right.
Yeah, it feels comfortable now in the space. and
Yeah.
place.
What I like about it, and Kyle, if you'll go through the picture, so, and again, this is just from a overview design without getting into the particulars. What I like about the back is the covered patio areas, so any light emitting from in the elevations of the back, because there's a lot of doors that open out to this very large patio area. So at night, at least the light is not shining upward. So I like that element. The one element that I'm a little comfortable with is the black standing seam metal roof over the exposed glazed staircase, only because I don't really see any of that type of roofing anywhere else on the house. And I'm just curious why you decided to do that and not just have it be shingle covered.
That, right.
well, and actually,
Yeah.
that particular feature in the entire house is kind of the one that I least like in general. It's like a little turret of glass that I personally
So you don't like the facade of that,
don't
the
like the
open
facade. I don't like
staircase?
I
Yeah,
don't think I think the whole design is much more contextual. That particular component
because it's sort of,
is discordant to me.
yeah. Does anybody, Jonathan, do you have any comments on that, feelings?
I think it would look better with the shingle roof rather than the metal roof, as I would say, a consistent roof material. In this case, it would be the shingles rather than that. And then I think it would fit well. It's also right near the front door, so you're aiming toward that area.
Right, and how do you feel about that, double story glass exposure?
There's some
It-
romance.
It allows a lot of light into the house during the day.
And a lot of light out.
Is it a staircase?
Yeah,
It's almost standard on all these farmhouses.
it is the staircase, correct, to the second?
Every single house has it.
And it's to the front. It's not really
Yeah, it's to the
blocked by the scenic easement and by.
And all of those sconces are not going to happen. Everything's going to be recessed underneath the soffits or any type of porticos, right?
We will remove it all.
So is there anything that you can consider with regards to that black standing seam metal
Sure.
roof
I'll change it to the regular.
with shingles?
Yes, sure.
Is everybody in favor of that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so now getting into the particulars. The one other thing that Esperanza and I realized is that in my file, I don't have a pool house elevation.
Well, now
Okay,
we don't either. We don't have either, actually, because the elevations that I'm referring to do not reflect.
right, but do you
That's
have a
fine.
pool house
No.
elevation in there?
No.
Okay, so what we're going to need, Jessica, is we're going to need a whole new set of elevations that reflect exactly what the house is going to be, all the windows that are going to be there, because on the elevations for the pool house, if you can, take a look, like on one rendering, there's no windows on either side of the patio in between, and then on another one, there's like sliding glass doors. What?
We weren't gonna come for approval today for the pool house.
It's on your application.
Just has to be one complete set of what you're gonna
So
do. There
that we
can't be
can-
multiple
right.
sets of plans.
See, what happens is after you get our approval, you'll get a resolution. That resolution will reference all of the elevations, not necessarily the color photo renderings. This is really just a tool for us to imagine it, but all of those architectural drawings have to be exactly what you're building. Because after you build and you want your C of O, we're going to come back out with the drawings and make sure that what was approved is built to those renderings. So if they're inconsistent and incomplete, we're not going to be able to give you a resolution in order to start building. So I think you're hearing from all of us that we're very favorable of it. And I think we're all in agreement that we like the idea of that shingle capped turret over the staircase. But we need, again, to have a set of drawings, including the pool house, that reflect everything and as it's going to be built.
No problem.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to table, go ahead, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I just do want to point out between the two different proposals, if you will,
Mhm.
the slight differences of there are more windows
Mhm.
on this one. and on
Versus
this one.
that, right? So could you tell us on the drawing, are there going to be the windows over the
So
garage?
for instance, like
The bedroom windows, I
these
felt,
bedroom windows were expanded,
yeah,
right?
because I felt like when I looked inside, they did the 3Ds inside the room, they were too small. So we made this, and we wanted to be more symmetrical, so we made this.
So the three are the same,
Yeah.
this one,
Yeah,
and
we
this one.
wanted this one to be symmetrical with these two.
Okay,
So those were updated, and then.
and they're all
we-
divided like.
And this had a bathroom over here, so yeah, so this had a bathroom over here, so we added a window there and there.
Okay.
I didn't realize that he didn't update it on the elevation.
Yeah.
That's the older one though.
This is a whole
Right.
different set of renderings and elevations. So we're going to not disregard these.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're gonna use this model because this had the symmetry here between, we wanted to keep it consistent between this gable and these two.
Right, and that's fine. And then the pool house does have the glass in the front facing the pool,
Yes,
because in one other rendering it doesn't. But on the back side, is that open as well on the bottom?
See how the pool house here is, this side is closed, this side is open.
yes, that's gonna be open on that side. We're just, I think that's what it's.
So-
200
so-
square foot allowance or 250.
And there's fireplace here.
Yes,
Okay.
there's a fire.
Yeah, all that needs to be spelled out in the plans.
Because this
It's
one,
in there.
But we could come for, we're still developing the cabana. We could come for the main house first, right?
No, we'd like to do it all at once.
Oh, okay.
David?
I think that's the best way forward, is to do it all at
Right,
once.
because there's not too much that you have to do, right? It's a little tweaking.
Yep.
And if you can do it in the next, week, we can put you on for the next meeting. Or if you need more time, since it's part of your application, then we can do it the following meeting. Our next meeting is July 22nd, and then the next one after that is August 12th.
Got it.
and considering the expansiveness, this is satisfactory, all of this glazing and everything here.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
This is facing the horse farm,
The,
The reason being is because all of this is covered.
not this.
No, not that, but,
This is the main.
right, I understand, but I'm okay with it.
now, is that a,
What would you recommend?
I was changing the subject, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The pool house, that's not glass, it's all air, right?
No, there's glass. No, it's all
Class?
the pool house in the
Just,
front.
just
Facing the-
facing toward the house. There's
Right, facing the
there's
pool.
glass doors facing the pool.
Yeah, but that whole central area is all open.
Yeah, just
It's a
people
purpose.
are-
Right, yeah, yeah.
And of course, there's lighting in there, but that, we'd have to make sure you let us know what that's going to be, if there's going to be lighting in there.
Yes, because I can see lighting through the pergola. So yeah, Jessica, so you're on the right track. You just really need to tighten this up for us, okay? And we're going to table this. Thank you.
Okay. But once those changes are made, you guys will, it's acceptable, the design.
Yeah, does anybody have any concerns with Esperanza with regards to that one section that's not covered?
It's fine. It's a big improvement.
Is it a dining room in that area?
January.
This,
That central section between the two
Double-story.
terrace.
It's just gonna be an outdoor kitchen back there, hangout area, lounge.
no, what's inside though? Is it a dining room?
Where?
On the other side of the glass on the
This-
first floor,
this
in the
section.
middle.
Oh, that's the living room, the double story.
The living room, okay,
It's a double-story living room.
okay. All right, great, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Do I have all my stuff? Master One LLC, tax, still under agricultural overlay, tax map number 300-201-1-822, 31 Association Road, in Wayne Scott, and Billy Hajak's here to join us.
So this is a 4.5 acre property in the Georgia Association overlooking the pond and the ocean. The applicant seeks to renovate an outdoor porch and add a 485-foot square addition to it. It's increasing the porch by about 50%. Add a doorway and a stoop adjacent to this larger porch and replace a railing on a second floor deck. This is a 10-year-old house, gracefully sited, elegantly quiet. It fits into the neighborhood beautifully. The changes they're proposing are extremely minor. I have no issue with what they'd like to do.
Okay, so let's just take a look at the survey. And Billy, if you want to point out to us where this, the new addition or change are happening and walk us through it.
So I could do that.
Let me do this before you do that. Chip, if you can read into the record what the application says on the back with all the exact details.
That's what I just read, but sure, I read it.
All right. Because I didn't remember replace hand railing on the second. Okay, sorry.
So it's okay. This is the existing porch, covered porch
Mhm.
that's to be renovated or, reconstructed. This is an expansion of the porch. It wraps around the bay window on the Georgia Capon side of the house. This is the existing second story deck. It's over a screened in patio on the first floor. That's the railing that's just supposed to be replaced basically in kind. It's just, weather. It just has to get repaired.
Is it a wood railing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And they're going to keep the wood.
Yes, wood and painted white like the existing trim. They're proposing a new doorway out of the existing screened in porch and a new door to replace a window out of the kitchen area. That's essentially a summary of the project there. Basically matching materials that already exist. Cedar, cedar siding. It's a lead coated copper roof. There's only 2 new lighting fixtures proposed for the doorways, which are required by code, and 2 new lighting fixtures proposed to hang under the existing porch. And we provided you with details of the lighting fixtures. They're traditional fixtures that are matching what's already existing.
Okay, Kyle, if we can go through Chip's photos or the photos that were submitted with the
That's the existing porch, and the new porch will go over to the left, sort of surrounding that bay window.
Mhm.
That's the view on the lawn. The ocean is sort of behind us.
That's the railing that's to be replaced right there.
So the porch continues and
Yes.
the bay window will be inside the porch?
Is that right?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes. First floor.
Yeah, the first floor, yeah.
That's the railing, that's the porch, so this porch will come over in that direction. That's the view from the porch.
Beautiful. And Kyle, there's a page like this that shows materials, and I want to just talk about the lighting. Chip, did you get a chance to look at where these fixtures are going, and are they dark sky compliant?
Yes, it's down. Billy, are they dark compliant?
Yes.
Yes. It's the quietest house you've ever seen.
No, I understand. I just want to make sure before, we move forward.
Yeah, they should be on the
light
The light
fixtures.
fixtures should be on the last page of these plans, I think.
And the new light fixtures are underneath the overhang.
They hang, the two new lighting fixtures under the porch expansion hang. So these are the fixtures that hang under the porch. And then these are the two fixtures for the two new doorways.
And they are definitely dark sky
They're on
compliant.
the side of the doorways.
Okay, all right. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Chip or Billy? No? Jonathan?
No,
Okay. Chip,
I make a motion that we approve this application as stated.
can I get a second on that, Esperanza? Second. All in favor, Jonathan
Yes.
and Diane?
Yes.
Great, okay, thanks, Billy.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome, thank you for coming. Paulina and Bill Forsman, tax map number 300-159-1-3.68 Sawmill Lane in East Hampton. Is anyone here for, hi, are you Joseph Cerami?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Joseph.
Hi.
Okay, Chip, if you could read into the record what the application is for.
This is about a 1 acre property and on a town road cul-de-sac off Roberts Lane, which is off of Long Lane. It's across from an agricultural overlay, which is why we're reviewing it. The applicant proposes to add a very small 1-story, 170 square foot addition with a roof deck above it off the back of the house, which faces the dense overgrowth and the trees. The addition will not be visible from the front of the house or any neighbor. The roof, there is already a roof deck there that's sort of taking a slight porch out and just enlarging it. I have no issue with this application.
Okay, so let's take a look at the survey so we can see where the new area is going to be.
It's the shaded area in the center.
Okay, and then also there were pictures that were submitted. If we can look at that and then have Joseph tell us exactly where this new addition is.
Okay, sure.
Pictures would be helpful.
Okay, so this is the front, it's on the rear of the house. So it's the next
Set of,
set of pictures. Okay, so it's this, this area will be extended out. This deck, the balcony will be totally covering the new extension. So we're just going to enlarge the balcony, basically.
right, but what happens on the first floor?
First, this is where the addition is. Yeah, it's going to be a breakfast nook and expanding the kitchen.
So you'll have doors going out or just?
No, it's just it's a real breakfast nook.
Just open it.
Yeah,
Do we have elevations for what it's going to look like once it's done?
yes, sure.
Huge elevation.
Well, let's take a look.
Yeah, they should be in that set. So that's the basement, site plan. So on the first floor, you can see it's just a big
Right.
nook area. And
You can keep going.
yeah, next one.
So we get,
So this is the existing and this is the new. So the existing, see the balcony here will just be extended out.
Mhm.
And this is part of the kitchen.
right.
area
Okay, so
that's
no
getting-
door, no other doors or?
No, we don't need doors. There's doors here from the living room.
Great. All right, well, I think it's wonderful and I wish you luck with it.
Thank you.
Make a motion.
I make a motion that we approve this application as stated.
Great, thank you. Can I get a
Pleasure.
second on that, Diane?
Oh, yes.
And all in favor, Jonathan? Aye,
Yeah.
and Esperanza. Aye. Great, thank you so much. Have a nice evening, Joseph. Changes to commercial, item number 5 on the agenda, the Surf Lodge, tax map number 300-27-3-14183 Edgemere Street in Montauk. Tara Burr could not make it with us, but we're going to review this application for her. And this is a application for the Surf Lodge that would like to temporarily change the color of the front awnings. And Kyle, if you can pull up a photograph of what she submitted with the yellow awnings. The Surf Lodge would like to temporarily change the color of the front awnings from the existing white and yellow, photos attached, to white and pink, photos attached. This temporary change would be from July 26th through August 15th. So this is the awnings that are currently there now. It's one on above the first story. And then there also are awnings on the windows on the second story. And what they're going to do, if you can go to the pink rendering, I asked Tara when she told me that she wasn't going to be able to make it, how they were going to do this change out. So she said the Surf Lodge has indicated that the lower portion of the existing awnings, the ones that are yellow, which will change to pink, the yellow will be rolled up and pinned underneath. A new strip of awning will be secured to place the lower flap with the pink in its place. So I don't have any problem with this. Obviously, there's some kind of event going on that they feel they need to have the pink awnings, and it is just for a 2-week period. Does anybody have any questions on this application?
No.
So I'd like to approve it as presented. Can I get a second, Diane?
Second.
All in favor, Chip,
Yes.
Esperanza,
Yes, aye.
and Jonathan?
Yes.
Thank you. CMC EH Holdings LLC, tax map number 300-97-1. We're not going to sit with us.
Oh, we're not doing that anymore.
No, we don't do that anymore.
Sit in the back row.
You have to sit in the back row and come up to the podium. No, the second row.
Oh, that's why the signs. Okay, got it.
All right, and
Thought you were punishing them.
no, and then you can come to the podium if you'd like, whatever you're comfortable with.
If I have something to add.
Yes, and you might want to only because of the microphone.
Yes, you can come up to the podium.
Okay, sure. So let me finish reading this into the tax map number 300-197-145, 81 Wayne Scott, Northwest Road in Wayne Scott. And this is a change to commercial. And Esperanza, if you can read into the record what the application is for.
So the applicant was before us, a past meeting, and that application was received May 28th, was for, let's see, proposed exterior changes. Proposed 2-inch by 10-inch cedar horizontal boards to run perimeter walls. Proposed color modification to existing 1-inch by 6-inch vertical cedar siding to be painted white. Proposed changes to existing roof line and new cedar on roof will be left natural to weather.
Okay, so we have a photo up on the board, a rendering of what this new building's going to look
On
like.
that next one. So since that, that time also though, we had questioned how the applicant was going to deal with, there are some windows on this building that create sort of a triangulation in various places on the east side and on the north side. And in this new application, they are switching out the east side windows with new windows, which will remain consistent with the other ones in a black metal frame. And the remainder of the windows are going to be existing.
Okay, and Kyle, can we see the picture of the existing building as it is now? Everyone will recognize this was a window.
Shade store.
Shade
Yeah,
store.
lines.
And it's part of a little complex.
Called Mid-Hampton's Square.
Yeah, find it.
Square.
And I'll keep talking and I'll find the pictures.
So Mid-Hampton Mall is actually the subdivision. It's not the complex.
No, but it's called Mid-Hampton Square.
Oh, square. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he plans on obviously removing that sign because he's going to be putting his own signs up.
He can remove the Mid-Hampton Square.
Yeah,
sign?
they're not actually, they're
We're
not,
not talking sign, let's just deal with the building. We can do that when we
No,
get into this.
okay, sure.
No, I know, but you know, I
Sure.
don't want to get off when we're going to review it coming up. Okay. So while we're looking for the old, if,
I found it. Here we go.
you don't have it?
Nope, I've just found it. Yeah.
Okay, let's just take a look. It'll take just a minute.
Yeah, and just, once we see the pictures of what is existing,
There we go.
what
That's
is
the
being
back.
proposed is that the roof overhang is going to be removed on the south, west, and east sides. The north side's going to remain where there's also one of those triangular windows,
That's it.
which is this side.
So
So
that,
that side will remain just like that,
that's not what
except
it looks
for-
like in the rendering.
except for the roof line.
That's
That's
the
the-
front.
that's the other
front.
side.
That's the front.
That's the
Backside.
other side.
Is there a rendering
It's
of
supposed to
this
be the other
other
wall.
back
I don't
side?
have renderings of the other sides, no.
And it's going to
Really?
come out?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask, because if you're
you have a plan?
maintaining,
The architect is here and
Architect.
share.
Okay.
Can I
Explain on this picture.
yes, if you
Okay.
would, because I couldn't understand how you're maintaining that.
So these would come off and the roof line on this side and the front and the far side would be back at the building edge. But we're leaving this overhang, which is like from here out as it is,
Mhm.
straightening it vertically. It's pitched now. So because this beautiful triangular window will stay and this will stay and it will just be brought out.
Do you have elevations on all of this?
Not on all the facades, I don't think.
I
Just
don't
the front.
understand. So
Yes.
the two eastern,
This
diamond-
facade is flat now. The triangles are taken off.
yeah, I understand, but is the wall coming all the way to the end of the roof, or is it stopping back there where the other window begins?
Well, let's take a look at the elevations.
Yeah, we did submit the elevations on July 1st.
That's the other side. That's the front. This is, yeah. that's the
Yeah,
front.
this
This
is-
is from the road.
That's the south side. That's the front facade. This is the back facade. that
Yeah.
we're
To me, that elevation explains it.
Right, so we're going
There
to
is
pull it
no-
up on the screen.
It's a lot like Serena Lily Grove.
Yes, exactly.
It's the same.
It's the
That
same
won
thing.
an-
Took our source
That won an award from the village,
What did?
From
the Serena Lily
the
Grove.
village?
Yes, they're actually trying to emulate.
The village gave it a historic preservation. gave it
Well,
an
it is
award.
But there's no air between the joints.
So all of the triangle windows are going away
One remains,
Except the
in
one
the
in
back.
the rear,
In the back.
which
but
is why there's going to be a
west.
slight direct overhang. It will not be like a Pizza Hut. It will be like that.
And then the window, it comes
It'll
over.
cover the window, but it'll be a 90-degree.
In other words, you're losing square footage.
They are,
Yes,
I
they
see.
are.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
Just those windows weren't really, you couldn't really occupy them anyway. This is going to be a mortgage company and you can't sit in a triangular window and work.
All right, so Ann, if you want to just go by the board and just kind of walk us through all this so we know what we're looking at and
All right, so basically the dotted lines are the portions to be removed. These are those triangles and the roof that is
what
atop
elevation
them.
is that, the east or west? or-
That's the back. Wait, let me start in the front, sorry. So front, it never had any triangular windows, neither did this left side. So we're just cutting off the roof line and creating this sort of soffit that parapet wall, whatever it's actually going to be, but its face is the Serena and Lily idea of just some natural cedar boards, horizontal, that allowed to weather. And then we'll talk about the sign in a minute.
Yeah, signs next application.
Okay, and so this, on the right side, there's two of those triangular windows. Those will come off, and the roof line will follow the new straight wall. And then as we
You
turn,
have new windows replacing the ones that you're taking.
right, they're dotted here, the ones that are leaving, and then we'll just have some casements, black metal or whatever is closest to what exists. And then that is the side of the back triangle window that's remaining, but the roof will come out over it. So it'll have the roof will be square, but the triangle will be. And then around to the back, This is that square roof coming out, but this is following what the roof does now back here. And that's the one remaining triangle window. These are existing doors and windows. And then the facade just wraps around and follows the walls.
In other words, this side is that north side is the only side that has an overhang,
Right.
because the other ones you're losing the overhang.
When you say north side, so that's the back of the back.
Right.
Would you make it all uniform and just deal with that triangular window another way? So it's, I mean, that building is so obvious from the seafood shop, from every angle. So the back really isn't the back. Everyone sees it. Could the whole thing be uniform so the back conforms with the front and the sides?
Well, I wouldn't suggest that you give up any more square footage. Is that what you mean? Take the square footage of that back triangular window? No, I think it's kind of.
But could you change the roof line to make it look like? the
Well, I
other-
had originally thought, which was not apparently clear at all, was that the roof line would follow the triangular walls. So we could do that if that's something that feels better than having those overhangs.
If the back's gonna look like it was left over from the current building.
Well, look at the two windows that are replacing those two little windows right there, and that's facing the road. You see that every time you drive by. That's what you see. That's it.
Would those,
Those aren't window, wait,
the other idea is to make these just a thinner version of this floor to ceiling so that they make some sense with the other windows.
That'd be great.
That would
Is that
be-
good?
And
that'd be great.
that's the side that you see coming west.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then these,
Driving west, yeah.
yeah, so this would be better. They'd be uniform with this guy who's remaining and they'd all sort of
Right.
make some sense. But I don't know. Do you think that's better to follow the triangular with
No.
the roof or just leave it as an overhang?
I'm not an architect. That's why we have Jonathan.
You know,
I mean-
I don't know what people think, and I guess it doesn't matter for a mortgage company, but the two diamond windows, you could have like just gone straight up from the point of those windows.
that's what I thought,
Yeah,
but in your
and-
plans, it wasn't indicating that. It was like you were removing that.
And
No, that would, yeah, that was. the
kept the
big
diamond windows, and you'd have square footage and
And
that can be used really,
consistency.
but that's a separate thing. It's not.
Okay, but- The intent of the first one, even though it was not understood, was for the facade to follow the sawtooth windows. Is that something that you?
No, we don't want.
No, this is much better.
All right, and well, I don't know.
The Back being so different. I like
Well,
it.
but I'm sorry, why don't you like those triangle windows remaining with the vertical overhang? What's the difference?
This is such a clean.
I mean, it just becomes less boxy, but it is a little awkward. But the back then is gonna remain awkward.
Let's look at the.
And the back is awkward too, because it's got that little like mansardy piece. I'm sorry.
The existing building, so we can see it. You know,
But the two little windows replacing those big windows seems
that seems
not,
No,
yeah.
putting bigger windows in is
Yeah.
great.
Okay, good.
you know, to somebody, I think it was Jonathan said it's not a historic building. You know, originally I was hoping that the quirkiness of it
Yeah.
It
would
is a
stay,
historic building.
Yeah.
you know, but not technically, you know what I mean? But like, I thought that, you know.
I don't know.
the Funkiness of it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I think he should keep these, keep them all and follow the roof line around. At least it's like celebrating its funkiness and it's all uniform.
I
Right.
And it could
agree.
be kind
And
of
would
cool.
you make the roof line come out and go down as opposed to like a Pizza Hut pitch like that?
No,
Well, you-
Yeah, vertical.
I like the Serena.
lose the Pizza Hut pitch. That's the main.
The main
If,
objective.
if you had your new
Facade.
roof zone, the new sign roof that
Mhm.
wraps around the house in a rectangle, cantilevered out over those diamonds, that would look better than this.
I think that you were saying the opposite, weren't you?
Saying
That,
the opposite, of
okay.
course,
I like
but-
that. I mean, it looks like a failed Burger King now. I don't.
Well,
Right
that's-
now,
it's regardless,
Now
it's
it's-
definitely the ugliest building in all of East Hampton, so we're glad we're doing
Why
it.
is it ugly? The question is, why is it ugly? And this most distinctive thing about it is the diamond
It's those
windows.
windows.
And everybody knows about those diamond windows and.
And are they in good shape?
Yeah,
So it's almost a shame to rip them out, to just put
Right.
something in there that's very pedestrian looking.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, you know, done right with, you know, with the elegance of the materials that you're planning, it could be really
If I had a vote, I would follow the triangular windows with the roof vertically and have it all be
But then the
uniform.
roof would go in and out like this?
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, see what that does, it takes away the intensity of the glass and it mimics it. And right now the glass is like dramatic. You followed along like somebody's crown on their head, all of a sudden it changes the quality of it. And there's not enough space in the building to like deal with that kind of concept, I don't think.
Space in the building? You mean?
Yeah, this tiny little building, it's not a castle,
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so you prefer the corners over the triangle squared off.
Yeah, I like.
So you have overhangs only there.
Your new roof concept.
And I just want to be clear also, and Kyle, can you go through the other elevations of the pictures, so I could see the sides and the front?
So that's gonna be the biggest overhang because that wraps the corner.
So Jonathan's saying you take that pitch off.
And straighten it.
And straighten it.
Make
That's-
it
Follow the
That's
line
a
of
given,
the.
when, yeah. no,
That's
no,
what
no,
you
no.
would-
So it'd be
Right.
like the Serena and Lily on steroids.
Yes.
On angles.
On angles.
Judge-
All right, and then
Yeah.
the next elevation,
It's a little bit of a muffin.
right, so on the.
What are you gonna do with that tree?
It's a total
Well,
bucket.
It's a muffin.
Let's stay with the building. The air conditioner is gonna go, I would imagine,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
and those windows stay the same?
Yes.
Okay, and then the front, so it's really the side and the back that has those angular windows that you're in favor
Exactly.
of keeping.
Yes.
So Jonathan, what did you want to ask about the tree?
Nothing. I'm not allowed to.
No, I just wanted to stick.
Well, I was at, before this came aboard, I was waiting for the doctor's office to open. I'm staring at the whole back of this thing. And, the tree is left there, some sort of, it could be cleaned up really nicely and make it good.
Yeah, I will say our client intends to do that. He intends to clean up the site dramatically.
And will he leave the tree?
I think it's dead.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
shabby.
dead.
So you're suggesting it goes?
I think
Doesn't have to go.
the simpler this thing is, the
Put another
better.
tree there, something maybe more.
So
Maybe.
just so we don't go through this one more time, can we put the elevations up one more time and just make sure we're all on the same page with what's going to happen with the two sides that will be overhangs, even though they're 90-degree, and the other two that will not be overhangs?
Well, I think what needs to happen
Like
is
the
you're going
brim
to
of it.
have to redo the plans. and
Yes.
Submit them also with the photorealistic rendering, so we could actually really see in 3D what this looks like. But I'm very happy that you're willing to consider this.
Okay.
you know?
So let's just look at those really quickly because it's going to change just the one, other than adding back the two triangle windows. It's going to have two overhangs that stick out and two sides that do not. And it's going to be the entirety, right, of each of those sides, north and west.
Yes, the overhangs are square edges and
Yes.
they are over the triangles.
Okay.
So
It
there's-
becomes a rectangle. Now, what about the little mansard over the entry thing?
Well, I would love to see that leave, but I don't know if it causes me more trouble in the end. So, and it is sort of, it's at least like this. It's not, I mean, it's small.
Let's see it, let's see it.
But, and then we have to have another overhang if we pull out the.
I know, forget that. But I mean, what if you just deleted it and had your roof go straight and that was a bump out at the bottom as an idea,
I'm not.
With the-
following
Yeah,
what
what are you guys
you're
talking
referring
about?
The
to.
building stops at the top of the wall before the roof area
Right,
starts.
like this. Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, can you show us the existing front of that building?
Yeah,
It's easier to refer to the existing, I think, yeah, for the moment.
is there a photo of that
Yeah.
back photo is a good one, right?
I even took that corner.
Yeah,
That's the back.
you see that where the door is?
Mhm.
Now, I assume that's the access for your employees, right? Go in and out there?
Which door?
That's the basement. That's the basement.
White one?
Oh, that's the door to the basement?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, what if that cap were not there and that just stuck out as a flat roof?
Yes, yes.
flat roof
Like
with
a
no
little box,
facade?
a little box without the,
No,
A 3 foot of flat roof, and then your roof goes right along behind it. It's like it's a bump.
oh, so this plane that's now straight and goes all the
Yeah,
way, and this
exactly,
is just a
straight.
little bit,
You
okay.
can put a little skylight on top, do whatever, whatever.
I think the simpler this thing becomes, the
Right.
better it's gonna look.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but that feels incongruent to have like a piece of flat roof on a thing you've got a
Well,
banding
that's
around. too.
that's just an idea.
Okay, all right, we'll take that into consideration, but, yeah,
Well,
no, I
you know,
think,
there's also maybe a way to do like just a pitch over it. So instead of it being so boxy, it just kind of comes off of the roof and goes
Like
over.
a salt box, like the back of a
Yeah,
salt
like a
box.
salt box
Yeah,
over that.
This is a concept. You have the rectangular roof, right?
Mhm.
Underneath it, you have a diamond window going on, and so you have overhangs and so forth. The whole, underneath the roof is moving around.
Mhm.
Why can't that thing be part of the underneath that moves around, happens to move around outside of the roof?
So have the roof extend out to cover that basement door.
Right.
That'd be a huge,
no, you're
No.
saying the opposite.
The opposite, just a flat roof,
It's a flat roof.
a flat roof above the basement door.
Okay.
It's the same exact height as the diamond window wall.
Right.
I don't know what the material is yet, but that's that same material. You maybe there's a wall change or something you can do to make it look like it's flowing in and out, put it.
to my mind, that to keep it as quiet as possible, I think that the band of the new banding should come and just bump out and so nothing will have an overhang that isn't
oh, so
a
it's
triangle.
it's squared off. We don't see that mansard angle roof.
Yeah.
That would be
No,
much
never.
better.
That
Oh,
doesn't
That
happen.
would be much.
But what you're saying is sort of like a little Lego piece that would bump
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, like
Yes.
you could see the diamond, you could continue where the air conditioner door is.
Mhm.
If that were from the window to the, on an angle over to that other, where deleting that air conditioner door for a second, just make a wall there, put your door in as a diagonal, then it would jig around like that, pop out a little bit. But anyway, that's a separate thing.
Okay,
It's
I'm
not,
not
it's only a
Yeah.
mag. it's only-
I think I prefer to keep it
Yeah, that's
all
fine.
uniform,
Square.
and if you're okay.
And
with those-
utilize the materials that are there, the
Yeah.
doors and the windows. Okay, so we're gonna need to see this. Yeah, and you want to just tell us about what the materials actually are for the building?
Yes, it's the existing cedar siding, just sanded, power washed or whatever, and stained white.
Mhm. And then the roof is going to be,
We didn't give the number of.
Right. so it's a
It's
red.
Benjamin Moore, Simply White.
Yes.
is that in the,
It's in there,
It's
yes.
in there somewhere. And then, yeah, and the boards that are wrapping are a little bit chunky, similar to Serena and Lily. And I don't know what they've got it for a finish, but we're just wanting to leave those boards together. So they'll be a natural.
Your code.
Yeah.
so there'll be wood planks?
Yes.
And the wire fence.
That's got to go.
That's going.
Okay, good.
And then we would need to also know about, there are, there's soffit lighting or there's recessed lighting underneath the overhangs. Is that remaining?
Yeah, I think that we
Just
should keep
replace.
where we have those overhangs too. Yeah.
That's right. Well, it says in the application that the vertical siding is going to be painted white. It doesn't say gray, so is it?
No, it is white.
Nobody said
Oh, okay, I thought you said
White.
Vertical's
The
white.
top of it's great.
And the whole rendering was to show the colors.
No, the top of it, the roof is going
It's
to be natural
natural.
cedar.
But a
Yes.
gray, the Serena Lily has a grayness to
Yeah.
I
it.
thought somebody said it was.
It's a gray stain.
Sorry, raised
I
to
think
a
there is a
natural.
gray stain.
And then there's the air conditioning unit on this side and also on the west side, right? And those would be
Yeah,
replaced
those
with
yeah.
glass.
Yep, put the glass panel back in.
Right, and then you'll have some type of central air system.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna table this section, okay? But stick with us because we're gonna go into business science. We'll give you some direction there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now we understand.
And, I'm kind of excited about it.
Design award for improving that building.
No, well, I
I
was
still
saying,
get that.
no, I was saying to Lori that, you have an opportunity to take something and really make it special, and to just sort of kind of copy, so I was disappointed that the funky windows were going, but I'm glad you're.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
Okay. Under business signs, BMCEH Holdings LLC, tax map number 300-197-1-4581 Wayne Scott, Northwest Road in Wayne Scott, Esperanza.
So this would be a single, on this same building that we've just been discussing, it's a single-sided sign attached to the building, specifically along that now vertical roof line. It would be 1 foot by 20 feet long. There would be 2 LED linear floods above the lettering, because it would be black pin-mounted aluminum lettering. Yes, aluminum lettering, spelling out Black Mountain Capital. And those letters would not be illuminated from behind as was originally proposed. Rather, there's this these 2 strips.
Right. Okay, so I just want to jump in, and before we get into that, on that photograph that was just up, there looks to be a double-sided sign over on the right, and then there's the sign in the back. So all of this cannot be more than 32
square feet, right, we've made that very clear.
So you have 20 square feet on the building, and then you're going to have a double-sided, and then you're changing the complex sign to their sign as well.
That'll be removed because there is no actual complex.
Okay, so they're not replacing that with their own sign. They're just going to have that and that. Okay, so do you want to just get approval for the sign on the building and then do a modification with the artwork for the signage on the double-sided highway sign?
Do you really need a double-sided highway sign?
Well, he wants to get his logo on the double-sided highway sign.
Well, why don't we do this? Since we're tabling the other, why don't we table this? Come back with that double-sided sign artwork and the size, all the renderings, so that we could approve it all together as one fell swoop. Would that work? I think that's better, instead of doing modifications and piecemealing it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
But I think everybody's okay with what they're proposing on the building.
Okay, cool.
And that white would be that stark white.
All right.
It's going to have vertical lines in it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll have a
so
little
we'll break,
texture.
we'll break it up a little bit. Thank you, Ann, for coming,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for being willing to save those windows.
Yes.
Are you still jumping ahead on the agenda?
I'm gonna help you with that.
I'll say it.
All right, thanks, Ann.
Okay, take care. And I'll call you, Mom. I'll email you, thanks.
Where are you? Laura?
Two COs, Driftwood and Dooley.
17 and 18. Okay, let's do 17. Driftwood Apartment, Corp. Unit 5354, tax map number 300-110-1-132178 Montauk Highway in Amagansett. I just got to dig through my file to pull that up. This was before us back in
March.
February 25th. We had a resolution to replace existing sliding doors on two units, 53 and 54. And then there was 2 windows that they were, encasement windows that they were just going to enlarge. I went out there back in February of that year and 2021 and saw the existing, and I went back out the other day and the new doors and windows are in and they look really nice. There was a really nice guy, Jay, that walked me all the way in the back so we could see them. So this is all good. So I'm going to make a motion to approve this and ask the staff to notify the building department that it's ready for a certificate of occupancy. Can I get a second on that, Esperanza?
Second.
All in favor, Diane?
Aye.
Jonathan?
Yes.
And Chip?
Yes.
James Dooley and Kristen Dickey, tax map number 300-159-1-3.1116 Roberts Lane in East Hampton. Jonathan?
Okay. This is for approving what we asked for at the making the driveway gate 6 feet or under all around. The posts were cut down to 70 inches. And the gate is about 71 inches, and it's all under 6 feet. So
Are there photos?
there should be, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, let's bring it up to Lori, what we discovered with the caps.
Yeah, all
Okay.
right. The,
If you can bring up the existing photographs.
the caps
On the posts.
on the post, the little OGs, the posts were cut off at the bottom of that cap, and the cap was taken off. Those are like 1x6s or 1x8s or something that makes a post. So the saw marks can be seen. It's just raw, unpainted wood, and it's hollow on the inside, covering over some sort of structure, which I couldn't see, but basically there's something inside there. So it's just going to fill with water and rot. Now, I assume, what?
Well, we think they took the caps off in order to get it to the exact height that they needed it to be at
Yeah.
6 feet. So we're assuming when they get the C of O, they're going to go back and put the caps on. And what we're saying is that by doing that, you're only adding a couple inches. We're going to give you the approval for the C of O. If they put them on and it's a little bit over, if it ever comes back up, we'll just make a notification in the memo to the building department that we're allowing a contractor's extra couple inches for those caps.
For the caps.
Well, but it still needs to be under 72 inches, right?
Well, it might be a little bit over with the caps, but there is a leeway that we can do. It's a
Okay, all right.
contractor's leeway of a couple inches instead of them having water go in there and rot. And it's just, you know,
That makes total sense. I didn't even notice. I went there and measured them
yeah,
myself. and I didn't
you know,
notice the
it's tricky, but you know, we're not going to, you know, make it.
They look actually better from the road.
Without the
Without
caps.
the cap. So,
Yeah.
I would almost suggest that they just cover the
Right.
tops.
Yeah.
square cap without the
If they put a square cap on and then paint it out, it would be really nice.
Right, so we'll make a
That's what
memo
they should
that they're going to put one square cap on those posts, and then we'll approve that for.
Okay.
Okay. So Jonathan, if you can put that into your motion.
do. Okay. I move that the board approve the lowering of the posts with the proviso that there's a cap, a white cap that's
Why don't we do a
probably
1 inch cap
a 1-inch cap
on the post?
on the post.
On the post of the gate?
The post.
The posts, the 2 posts.
Oh, that was the before picture?
That was the
Yeah.
before picture.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was
The-
confused.
So where am I? So to complete the job,
Right.
right?
So you'll instruct staff.
Yeah, I will instruct staff to provide you the C of O.
Let the staff notify the building department.
All right. To notify.
And if they can do that as quickly as possible. To put those, yeah,
I'll let them know.
You guys need a second.
I need a second. Esperanza.
Second.
All in favor, Diane
Aye.
and Chip?
Aye.
Okay, great. All right, Lori, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yes.
All right, let's go back to business sign number 8295 3 Mile Harbor Road LLC, tax map number 300-75-1-29295 3 Mile Harbor, East Hampton, Michael Carafari, sorry.
That's right.
Hi, you made it.
Made it.
That's
All
good.
right.
So let me read into the record. This was an application before us that we approved for East Hampton Point's new roadway sign. And there are some existing, if you can pull up the picture of the existing sign, there are 2 old, very tall, 2 feet off of the top of the sign, lanterns or lamps on a gooseneck lamp with a very tall gooseneck. And we asked Michael if he could modernize that a little and, you know, put something more to match the black sign. And he came up with a type of lamp. If we could just look at that. Can we just blow that up a few seconds? so we can all see what's there on that photograph. Right. See how tall those lamps are? It's really out of scale with the rest of the sign, and the sign is black with white lettering. Did you keep the white posts or did you paint those black?
The posts are white
Posts are white.
and the new lights that are proposed are black.
Oh, black, okay, and they'll
Matte
fade
black.
back. Right, right. So there's a spec sheet file, if we could take a look at that. And this is a downward facing spotlight.
We've decided with Mapes that the 24-inch is a better fit than the 30-inch.
Okay,
So it's the second, where they say or, it's actually the second version.
that's for the arm?
Yep,
Okay, so you're going with 20,
24 for the arm.
so it'll be a 24-inch arm, and there'll be two, and then they'll have these downward facing black mats. And are the arms going to be black as well?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Michael on this?
The lights point at the sign, right?
Right.
Yes.
Point
Yeah,
down.
right, yeah, but, back, bounded
This
back.
is
Yeah.
double or single sided? I can't remember.
It's a single.
Single
sign.
sign.
Yeah, it's the way it's angled.
Right.
So if you're coming down 3 Mile Harbor, you don't see a sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, does anybody have any questions? No. No, okay. I'm gonna make a motion to approve the new 2 spotlights in matte black with 40-watt bulbs and a 24-inch style gooseneck. Anybody, sorry, can I get a second on that, Esperanza?
Is there Kelvin? Is there a Kelvin rating?
Are they regular, what type of light bulbs are they?
LED.
LED.
Is there a Kelvin rating?
It might
Okay.
say right there.
Jonathan, could you take a look here?
Yeah.
And then I'll read that into the record, and I'll just
Yeah.
remove my motion.
The specs there showed there are different arms, and there was one of those that was
Picked, which was the
specifically
24-inch versus the 30.
chosen. But what shape is it? There were a bunch of. different-
No, it was circled.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
go
sorry,
back.
I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 3 options, 3,000, 4,000, 4,800. Which one are you using for Kelvin? The 3,000?
Yes. Let's use the least amount.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you also have some lighting going in on the roadway. All right, so I'm going to make a motion to approve the 2 new black matte spotlights to go over the roadway business sign with a black 24-inch style gooseneck arm. And the LED lights will be 3,000 Kelvin. Can I get a second on that, Esperanza?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, Chip?
Yes.
Jonathan?
Yes.
And Diana?
Yes.
Okay, Michael, you're good to go.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it's not. Very, very right. They look. That's way up to 5,000 K. 700K is like extremely warm. You can just put it on food and you don't like Ralph over the food and everything more, it's just so. Normally you put like 3,000 or 4,000 in your house for like, not, 3 or 3,500, something like that. So you know how, warmest, so it's the warmest.
Okay.
But that would be too warm for the sign,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Fences, I'm glad you're explaining that to us because we're always constantly learning. Fences, walls, gates, and berms, Martin Elderman, this is a housekeeping reason why this is back on the agenda. Tax map number 300-175-7-7, 249 Marine Boulevard in Amagansett. And last meeting, Diane made a presentation and the board voted to deny the 6-foot gate. And I failed to make a motion to that or to get a second. So Diane, could you make a motion about denying this application?
Yes, I make a motion based on the inconsistency with the neighborhood that we deny this application.
Okay, can I get a second on that, Esperanza?
Second.
All in favor, Chip?
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes,
Jonathan?
yes.
Okay, great. All right. Leonard and Susanna Fisher, tax map number 300-24-8-663 Fen Marsh Road in Springs. Is there anyone here for the applicant? Great, thank you.
Oh, I see, there's another one.
Good evening, are you Leonard?
I am Leonard. Only my mother calls me Leonard.
What, are you a Len or a Lenny?
I'm a Leonard or Lenny. I've been called worse.
We're gonna call you Len.
Okay.
And this is Susanna?
Move that down if you want.
Thank you for coming today.
Move that, yeah.
Okay, Jonathan,
Aye.
if you could read into the record what this is for?
Yeah. This is a warning, a town code violation, non-compliant conditions observed. Fence on front of property is 6 feet in height and setback at 5 feet off of the road. Different words here. Fencing on side is 6 feet on top of retaining wall. That is 2 feet in height. Fence on left side is 6 feet. So looking at the survey, it's clear that the fence on the front is 5 feet or less from the road, but it's also more than 5 feet from the property line. So it's way on town property,
On the easement,
on the road.
where it says due north?
Yeah, where the road is there. Yeah.
That's just in the town right away.
What?
It's just on the town right away.
Yeah, it's on the town right away. So you can see
That's what I
the
meant.
property line is that horizontal line.
Mhm.
The dot, dash dotted thing is the
Fence.
fence. You can see that it's way out. It gets within inches of the road at one point. Then it curves around. Then as it curves around into the driveway was cut into the existing soil to go up to the house. And then this wooden, the railroad tie kind of fence went in to hold the earth back at that point.
Yes.
6-foot fence goes along the top of that.
So what does that measure from the grade all the way up, including the railroad?
Well, from the driveway all the way up, right now it's 6 + 2, which is 8 at the highest point. So their fence is 4 foot with an addition on it, right? It's a 4-foot fence with another fence attached to it, right? Yeah. I thought if that whole front area and the driveway area were a 4-foot fence, it would look very good. Deer are going to, they have to go up a hill to get to that property line. So that automatically increases the height. So they're going to not want to go up the hill and then jump, and the same is true on the driveway. So I think that would be a good solution for the garden and the road. Yeah.
Let me ask you the question on the driveway where you say the railroad ties are 2 feet.
Yeah.
And then there's a 6-foot fence on top of it. So
Yeah.
if they put a 4 feet, they still need ARB approval because it's going to be 6.
Well,
feet.
you'd still need approval for this. Yeah,
6
exactly. Yeah, right.
6 feet.
If you want, there's photos, right?
Let's see the photo.
Yeah. But that's the driveway.
Can you blow that up, Kyle, so we could really take a look at this? And it steps up. It goes from,
Yeah, it goes up and it steps up. Yeah. You can see the post. You can't see the fence so much. You see the little black posts, so you know what's going on.
yep. So all the way towards the car at the highest point, is it 8 feet or is it higher, including the railroad ties?
Well, as from the driveway up, the driveway's on a slope up. So as the embankment goes, gets closer to the driveway, the fence is going to get lower.
Oh, I see.
The highest embankment is where the highest point is. So it's probably 6 feet
Okay.
and a half or something at that spot.
6 feet.
Now,
And then the fencing that's off their property on the easement,
see where the mailbox is?
All of that. Yeah.
That mailbox, and you see that V-shaped tree, the double V thing?
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
That I can't tell
Yes.
from here. Anyway, so that's more or less where the property line is, just this side of that tree. So you've got to go back like 6 or 7 feet, according to the survey. So that fence would come along and interrupt it, kind of where that little green sphere is, that's along that thing there. Kind of there. I mean, I don't know, I'm not a surveyor, so I
Yeah,
didn't
you
check,
have to have.
but it needs to be surveyed out and posted and relocate your fence there. So it's on your property then.
Right, and I said easement again, and I meant right away, so I
Yeah,
apologize.
so, and then just continue that same 4-foot fence, which I think you already have there, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So basically you want us to put in a 4-foot fence from back here,
Yeah,
okay? Which would be our property,
Mhm.
yeah.
and 4 foot here as well?
If you would want to, you don't have to put anything there.
No, no,
You
no.
Have what you have now.
The deer have broken the fence or bent down part of the fence in the driveway and jumped in and
Already?
eaten everything.
Can I ask you also, I saw you have a pool, so is this your pool fence?
Yes.
So you need.
The pool's in the
4
front of the house.
Yes, it is, yeah. So you need the 4-foot fence.
Yeah. Oh, no, we definitely
yeah,
need
yeah.
a fence, but I mean, I think the deer could jump a 4-foot fence.
They can jump a 6-foot fence.
Yeah.
But we can't approve anything over 6 feet in the front of your house.
Hmm.
So if you've got those railroad ties that at the lowest are 2 feet and you put a 4-foot, that's as high as you can go. We
Okay.
can't approve anything
Yeah.
higher than
Okay.
6.
So basically, we want to build a 4-foot fence back behind this tree. And we,
Well, yeah.
You should get it surveyed first, though.
To point in the air. If we can look at the survey and see, you know what I mean?
On his property.
The survey on the property, because I don't know exactly which tree was there. It's just all filled with trees and stuff. They're right there.
Please, yes.
So, see, the surveyor will stake out the whole front of your property, the left and the right side of it. And then you run a string along there and you put your fence just on the inside on your property, right? So whatever that distance is, and you can see that it's more than, it's more than 5 feet off the road. So it's up there.
And Jonathan, what happens on the right side, on the side in?
There's another photograph. It shows, or two, there it shows, it goes along all the way down at 6 feet.
It's a 6 foot.
6-foot fence. It goes.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah. take
Because
a
we
look
can
at it.
approve that if it's.
that's on the side you're
On the
talking about?
side, yeah.
Okay.
We still need our approval.
No, that's the side. So there's a split rail and then there's a 6-foot fence that goes
Behind
along
it.
behind it. Yeah.
And you're okay with leaving that as their pool
I think that,
fence?
yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah.
It's not very visible from the road.
It's not really visible from the road. And also this corner, you see
That's the big,
that stake,
yeah.
the property line is on the other side of that split rail post, right?
Mm.
So it's going to be a start up there further
Mhm.
at the top of the hill, kind of. So it'll be fine, yeah. So also with the fence going through the woods, it's more difficult to see
Mm.
for people. Yeah. I don't know about the deer, but
You can approve the 6-foot fence that goes there?
pardon?
I'm asking David.
Would you ask him, Esperanza?
If we can approve the 6-foot fence.
Since they're
There.
moving it all the way back? You mean on the front?
Can we see where it is on the survey? 'Cause I'm
Mean on the side or?
Yeah.
This side where it would then connect to
The
the
4 foot,
4-foot.
right.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's what we were just
Yeah,
talking
right.
about.
Where is,
So this right side.
which,
Right.
Right there, yeah.
Mhm.
That's a 6-foot fence. It goes along on the edge of the wood and there's other,
And then it goes all the way back to the edge of your property, correct?
No,
Not all the way back, no.
the board can approve a 6-foot fence in the front yard if they want to,
it
just
just
if it's
goes
gotta be on the property.
really to the end of the house, doesn't it? And the back isn't,
Well, the only reason why, if you look at the survey, past the plane of your house in the back, there looks like there's fencing on the survey that goes all the way.
No.
To the back.
Yeah, it does.
It
It
does.
does.
Yeah.
It's not our fencing though.
Not at your neighbors, okay.
Yeah,
And then, so you have fencing that goes from your fencing to your house to enclose that.
Right. And then
That's
we
correct.
don't, we didn't fence in the back at all.
It's a neighbor's fence.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's all wooded.
yeah. Now, did you say we could be approved for a 6-foot fence as long as we moved it back onto our property?
Board
So
cap-
the board can if it's within their discretion, but obviously that's what the code permits for the front yard, but it's up to the board.
Let me ask the board this. I'm just throwing it out there. If they move the fencing off the right of way into their property line and keep their 6-foot fencing and it's behind the trees and the growth that you really wouldn't see it. And then they have the 6-foot fencing that comes down to the back plane of their house for their pool. They do 4 feet on this side of the driveway because of that. So it's basically, they're just enclosing the front section with the pool at 6 feet, which would be a little bit more of a deterrent for the deer to jump in. And since that entire back is open, with the exception of that right side of their neighbors, as the board, would you be willing to approve that?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
You guys follow that?
I think so.
I think technically,
Yeah, but bring it.
Really bring it in the front.
well, it has to be on your property.
Yeah.
But beyond that, just
Beyond
just a little.
beyond that, a little bit more,
So it's
right,
screened.
so you don't see it.
Right, and also-
We have lots of forsythias
Right.
and other things growing.
Right, there's a
So it
lot of
wouldn't show much.
plants there.
So you'll figure when you come into your property, based on whatever trees you have there, you'll figure out an area that you can go across behind a tree. So the
Mhm.
less you see it, we're gonna give you the 6 feet. So the less you see it, we'll feel
Yeah.
better about granting that in the
And then
front.
we'll have
So
to come
plant
out
more
and check it
stuff
again.
behind
But-
it.
Other things that the deer won't.
The technicality of building of the driveway fence,
Mhm.
like how, physically, how do they do it? Now, it changes all the way
Well,
along.
they do what they
So-
did so that it's never more than 6 feet.
Right, okay, it has to always maintain at 6 feet off the driveway.
From
From the ground.
From the
From the
ground,
ground,
on the
yeah.
inside driveway. Are you okay with that?
I think I'm okay with
it's
that.
good. Yeah, I'm happy that
Okay.
we came to that conclusion.
Yeah, that's
Jonathan,
good.
so if you'll make that motion.
How can we specify how far in? I mean, is there anything that can?
Well, technically, it's if it's on their property, so
I
I'm
think-
gonna ask
We're
them.
just.
Also, there's
Starting
a
at that
lot of,
tree, right?
there's actual garden in that area,
Right.
garden and garden ornaments and so forth in that area. So they're only gonna wanna go to their property line or somewhere close to that.
Okay.
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 I mean, we can't see that here, but, and you can't see it.
Where's
from the
Van
photograph.
Marsh? How far up are you? Are you in Northwest or in Springs?
Springs.
Springs, this is Clearwater.
Oh, you're all the way up in
We're
Clearwater.
just off Hog Creek.
Okay. Okay. Are you okay with that, Esperanza?
We're fine. Oh, I'm sorry. She's okay with it.
Yes.
And so now, can I hire someone to just do exactly what you said?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, would he need to be surveyed again, just so he knows exactly where his?
Yeah,
property is? I think it
I
would be
think this,
advisable.
I think it needs to be staked or somehow, just so that everybody knows where your property line is.
Okay.
So he knows where his property is.
Where's-
Yeah, I
right.
think it benefits you to get it
Right. So it
resurveyed.
looks like, what's the last update was this is pretty old, your survey.
Yeah.
So you might want to get somebody local to come out and based on this survey, be able to stake it for you.
That survey was done by the building inspector who died very suddenly.
Sharky?
Sharky, yeah, Sharky.
What a nice fellow he was.
Because it says Pat Zacafio.
Yeah.
Doing surveys?
I don't think so. He,
And he's Mauritius.
On the side.
Okay, all right, so let's make a motion. So you'll get a resolution that will state all of this and then you'll have it.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
Right, and
that's very
you
good.
could, work with your surveyor and then get somebody to do the work.
I appreciate it. Very much.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you.
okay, I move the board, approves the moving of the fence, the readjustment, the rebuilding of the fence in the proper places. The fence along the road gets moved back to and inside the property line. The fence along the driveway will maintain a height no more than 6 feet off of the surface of the driveway. The front fence can be 6 feet and the side fence can remain at 6 feet.
Would that be the east side? If this is
The east side,
the north side, right? North side.
north side, that's the north, yeah. that's the
Oh, well, it
north side.
says due north, due east. Okay, so it's the east side. You're right. Okay,
The east side fence.
right, okay.
Um,
North is the front. Okay, great. All right, can I get a second, Diane?
Yes, second.
All right, all in favor, Chip?
Yes.
Esperanza?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you again very much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening. Safe home. Thanks, Jonathan, for that. I'm sure that was a little confusing.
Well, it is confusing a little bit because of,
All right,
where it's-
Luis Escondon and Fanny Alvier. Hi, tax map number 300-101-1-9, 8 Cedar Street in East Hampton. This is not the Cedar Street that we all know.
Right. This is not the Cedar Street off North Main Street. This property is on a town road cul-de-sac off Harrison Avenue, off Springs Fireplace Road, about a mile beyond the recycling center. So this is a half-acre lot on this cul-de-sac. The applicant seeks to install a 7-foot-high by 12-foot wide steel black painted gate across their driveway. Gate would curb up in the center and be finished off with small spikes, somewhat like the gates, the fencing at East Hampton House that we dealt with. It would abut on either side a 6-foot-high deer fence that is on 8-foot metal poles. Kyle, can we see some of the photos? Okay, so that's the proposed gate, which I understand they've already bought, right? Okay, so it's 7 foot high in the center and it's 12 feet wide. Go on, Kyle.
Is this aluminum?
Steel, it says steel, but that might be a
Is it
little.
aluminum? Is it a lightweight or is it very heavy?
It's not very heavy.
So it's probably aluminum.
So that's where I'm standing on the cul-de-sac road. You see the pavement change and there's a deer fence on the left and the right, and this gate would be about 20 feet off this pavement of the road.
Sort of where it kind of gets closer past.
There are no other gates in this neighborhood. The applicant states it's to keep deer out of her property. Currently, there's a deer fence on the left and the right, and they pull this mesh deer fence across this driveway at night. I find the gate is not in keeping with the area, and the height at 7 feet is beyond our jurisdiction. At best, I would suggest putting this gate further back and cutting it down to a lesser number, like 5 feet. You want to say something, Ben?
No, I understand everything. I'm speak a little English.
Okay.
But,
Okay, so we can help you.
but I understand.
So if it was further back, I mean, I think it would be less noticeable. And if the deer fence, and then you have to bring your deer fencing down, that's too high, it can only be 6 feet.
Only 6 feet.
Is there deer fence? Let's look at the survey.
There's a post there.
You can, yeah, I think the next picture, Kyle, may show the deer fencing.
I have the gate in my home because
Yeah.
I've already, but if it's possible, can I try to change? Maybe a refund, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good way. I would get a new
Can
gate.
you return it?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
I have to
all right.
return.
Still
I
in the
have to
box,
try.
huh?
Sorry.
Yeah, so that picture, Kyle, that's the, where the gate would be.
Right.
And there's deer fencing on the side there. That's an 8-foot pole with 6 foot high.
Looks like a tree.
Is that
Oh, the pole,
agricultural
yeah,
fencing?
beyond.
It's the big,
It's
Yeah.
a wire, it's
the big wire one.
Yeah.
Because this is
Farm
on a
fencing.
cul-de-sac, Chip, can you see from the roadway this wood
It's
fencing?
not a cul-de-sac, it's a town cul-de-sac, so this is a real turnaround basin, so it's a town road. There's about 6 or 8 houses on this cul-de-sac off Harrison.
Right, but I'm saying
Harrison.
when you're facing her driveway, can you see that the fencing that's over 6 feet?
Yes.
So it's in the bush, right?
And it's in the front plane of her
Yeah,
house,
You can
right?
see it.
It's woven through some greenery.
What do you recommend with that?
I recommend she cuts the poles down to, 6 feet,
Mhm.
and then and push this thing back a little bit so you don't see it from the cul-de-sac. think it could be a 5 or 6 foot gate, but there's no other gates in the
I don't know.
neighborhood. Okay, so 5 foot?
I mean, like,
4. You can do 4 totally,
4 feet?
you can do 4-foot fence totally legally. yeah.
Without our approval.
I told her that.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
What would you like to do, Fanny?
I like to change because I don't know how to code. I think it's not easy. I don't know. Let me tell my husband we want to refund
Yeah,
and we need to buy the other gate.
and that gate should
I
be,
think that's easy for me.
yeah, I think that's best. So the
This is
board,
my first time, so
Board's feeling on how high the gate should be.
Well, it depends on the gate, what the
Yeah.
design is. Can you come back to us with, you don't buy another gate,
okay.
but come back with a photograph like this of what you want to get in replacement? That is something that is less than 6 feet. And then based on a very open design, we'd be more open to approving something a little bit higher than 4 feet. But if it's a very solid gate, I don't, the board tries to not approve things that look like a wall.
A horizontal, open horizontal plank.
Something more in keeping with
you can
the.
see through it. We want to see
Yeah, I
through
wanna
it.
see. But I'm not put the gate, right?
Nope.
No, no,
Don't put
Bring us the picture. Bring us the
don't
picture.
buy, don't even buy
Don't
it.
touch
Okay.
this one, just
Okay.
take it back. yeah.
I have a question. If we could for here, it's okay? You give me the permits or no?
Oh, to have it that low?
Yeah, exactly. It's a little low. I don't know how many feet is like for here, for the second one.
Probably
This one,
the lowest.
You mean to cut it?
I think it's 5.
Cutting it, it's aluminum, and so it's right, or whatever, it's very difficult. to
Because I
cut it.
want to talk to my husband, if it's possible, he had to cut. The old job, he do it, so. I
Well, why
know
don't
if-
we do this, Fanny? Why don't we table your application?
Okay,
And we have another meeting on July 22nd.
okay,
If by next Thursday, you could come back and let the office know that you want to be back on for that meeting. It's a week before our meeting, and you have all your materials that you can submit, then we will see you at the next meeting. And if you need more time, we'll see you in August.
okay.
Okay, good. Thank
so
you for
much.
coming.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you, Chip.
Yeah.
Hey, Fanny, let me give you my card.
Thank you, Dave. That's very.
Fanny?
So her deer fencing is how tall?
6 feet with 8 foot poles. She would just cut the poles down. That would be
And that's all along the front.
I think it's, yeah. And then there's neighbors have crazy fences to the right that are on their property, but
Okay. 226 Bluff Road LLC, tax map number 300-172-4-815, 226 Bluff Road. The applicant and their representative was not able to make the meeting at such short notice, so they've asked to be put on for the next meeting. And same with 230 Bluff Road LLC, tax map number 300-172-4-8.14230. Bluff Road will be on for our next meeting as well.
yeah, it seems.
Both of them.
So those are adjourned until the next
Wow.
meeting.
National holiday. 2 withdrawals.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to issuance of certificate of occupancy. Tax map, I'm sorry, Lee Carr, tax map number 300-159-1-18.27, 10 Fieldview Lane. Anyone here? You want to come up? Are you Lee? Okay, good. Okay, great. We thought somebody wasn't coming, but everybody made it.
My construction
You
manager.
represent, okay. So who would like to come up and to represent you?
I guess I'll come up and represent myself with assistance if I need it.
Okay, great. Diane?
Yes. Our resolution, this is a new house at 10 Fieldview Lane. And our resolution called for specific roofing, siding, windows and doors, balcony note. And this was in 2019. They built the house. It's very, very nice. It's very, very well done. And you all must have been in good sync because it is exactly built as the plans, almost every detail. The plans I have are quite small, but almost every detail that I could ascertain is exactly as the plans. They were very clear in our resolution that they were not sure about the color of the trim. So they suggested the trim color would be black or bronze or white, and they chose white. The only thing that is that I don't see mentioned is your red door. But if you could show the pictures, I think the red door looks great. No, that's the back of the house. That's the garage. Now, I wanted you to note that the garage has 3 lights over the garage doors, not 4 as was on the plan. So that was the biggest difference I saw, which of course was something that was minimal. I mean, modified.
And more favorable.
Yeah, more favorable. So and the lighting wasn't specified on our resolution. But the lights are very nice. There's a picture, a close-up of the lights.
There's the red door.
There's the red door.
And that faces the street,
And
correct?
it's very interesting. Well, the house is on an angle. So if we see the survey, that they're the light fixtures that are everywhere. I mean, they're not many of them, but wherever they are, they look very nice.
Can I ask a question about the glass dividers on the back patio, kind of?
Yeah, Kyle, if you could show us the back photographs, the elevations by the pool, right, there you go. There's another one that's even a little closer.
And I know they're in the
Side angle.
the plans and everything. I wasn't the attorney to the board back in 2019, so I'm just.
There you go. If you can
What-
blow that up. They were on the plans, but
This is going to be used as a residence, right?
A residence?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my house.
All right, good. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a potential motel with the.
No, I have kids, and they all have to be identical rooms, so.
Oh, that makes
These are everything is identical, so they don't fight against each other. Yeah, so everybody gets exactly the same, all the materials are the same, bathrooms are the same, everything is exactly the same. That's why, yeah, those are my kids' bedrooms and my bedroom's on the first floor.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not a hotel, although I should charge a resort fee.
It is very nice though. So.
To them. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. All right, good.
Okay, I thank you for waiting through this few hours.
This is my first experience. I didn't know what to expect.
Well,
we didn't either.
I mean, you didn't.
Was it better than you thought?
I mean,
Was it good for you? It was very interesting. It was very, very interesting.
This is the first time we're back in person since March of 2020.
Yeah, we tore this down in July. There was something there. We started this in June of 2019.
Right.
So it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years.
Basically, you built the house that that the resolution called for.
Yeah, well, I thought that's what we were supposed to do.
Yes, you are.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That doesn't always
I'm
happen.
surprised how often it doesn't work
Well,
out.
this is my architect here, Bill Chaliff.
Very, congratulations. The house is
It's
very
lovely.
beautiful.
Okay, Diane.
Okay, so I would like to make a motion that that staff advise the building department that this property is ready for a CFO.
And that it is
As built.
As built.
Approved as
This
built.
property as built.
Can I get a second on that, Chip?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, Esperanza?
Aye.
And Jonathan?
Aye.
And Betsy, aye. Okay, great.
Thank you
Good.
very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice summer. Thank you.
Enjoy your home.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, it's me, yeah.
Who wants to clean off those glasses, right?
It's, this is just zero.
Okay. New singular wireless Northwest Fire Station tax map number 300-135-2-15-2. And then there's also 300-135-2-34.2, 18 Old Northwest Road in East Hampton. Jonathan.
Okay, this is the This is the singular wireless tower right behind the new fire hall on Old Northwest Road and yeah, Old Northwest Road. So this is the conditions of approval satisfied an inspection request form. So I inspected it. I took a couple photographs. It's neat and orderly. It's galvanized steel color everywhere, and I see nothing wrong with it.
Can we ask you to identify yourself?
Eric Mensa of Digital Construction Tech. We built the tower.
Okay, and Eric, what's your last name for the record?
MENSAH.
MENSHAN.
SAH.
It's Eric. All right, great, Eric. Thanks. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
No, not yet. No, I'm
Oh.
just, thanks for coming. Can you read into the record what the resolution was for, though? That we're approving for C of O? The few items that was on it?
Yeah. The resolved that the board approved a wireless telecommunication facility, which includes a 185-foot monopole with 12 panel antennas mounted at a centerline height of 155 foot, 15 remote radio heads and associated equipment, a diesel generator, equipment shelter on a 284 square foot concrete slab, all within a 50-foot by 50-foot fenced area. Color is to remain unpainted galvanized steel, and all the color samples, equipment specs, and so forth are contained in this file.
Great, thank you. Okay,
So motion to approve?
John, I think you make a
Yeah.
motion to approve it?
I move that the board approves the wireless tower, and that we notify the staff to get in touch with the building department to view the C of O and turn on the facility.
Oh, it hasn't been turned on yet?
I don't know.
Is it working?
I think it is on. It's on air.
Working though.
Well, I live in that neighborhood. It got better for a while, and
Is
then
it?
in the last couple of weeks,
Really?
nothing's working.
The population.
It's been on air for some time.
Yeah, I think that.
Right, I think you're all, did we get a second?
I'm
Oh,
waiting.
yeah, sorry.
I want to interrupt. All right, Chip, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, Diane, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye, great, thanks,
All
Eric.
right,
Thank you for waiting.
Thanks for coming.
The optimum is cutting the speed down for everybody, like 75% next week or now.
Really?
No, she's next.
I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay.
It's like-
You know what I'm saying? See, what happened was, we just did that on page 4.
One left.
Oh, I
Then
see.
we did
Right,
Kevin
yes,
Bishop.
Okay, this is the last.
Right,
this is
right,
the last one. Okay.
So we already did 16 Kevin Bishop. We already did Driftwood, the modification for Montauk Highway. We did James Dooley, 16 Roberts Lane. And the last on the agenda is Karen Langdon, tax map number 300-13-2-39157 Leon Court in Montauk. And if I can get a picture, there's a rendering of the gate. There used to be color photographs that I took from way back. I don't know if they're uploaded in this file. That was the gate that we had basically approved, and it was built, and I went out there the last time it was up for C of O, but the lanterns were not in place. And it was, you know, sort of a pandemic situation where she couldn't get the lanterns on in time for me to get out there. So what she's done now is she submitted a rendering of the lanterns as they are in her garage, and she didn't want to install them in case we didn't approve them. So that's the lantern, and it has this, you know, sort of frosted glass effect, very arts and crafts. And in total, including the lanterns, the 5-foot gate and the lanterns do not come to be more than 6 feet. So I think that this is fine. I'd like to make a motion to approve this for certificate of occupancy and instruct staff that it's ready. Can I get a second, Diane?
Mhm.
All in favor,
Yes.
Esperanza?
Yes, aye.
Jonathan?
Aye.
And Chip?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to close the meeting today of August 8th, I'm sorry, July 8th, 2021.
Moving ahead.
Second. All in favor, board?
Aye.
Great, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Michael.